Hi.
Hi.
We swore we'd never be that podcast who sits at a table.
Right. And we're like, now, like,
Look at
we're
us.
setting this up. We're like, we kind of like this.
Should we go proper for season 3?
Should we wear business suits every episode moving forward?
Men's suit and tie.
Talk only economics.
Okay,
Full
I love
rebrand.
that.
I love that you love that. You're like, calculus. Let's do it.
You know, I never took calculus.
I mean,
Crazy, huh?
neither did I. I literally graduated. The highest I went was geometry.
No way.
Yeah.
Are you serious? Yeah. I took geometry in 7th grade, Kristen.
I know. Well, to graduate our high school, you had to do
For
algebra.
some reason,
It was like something really low.
do you remember when we were in school, they changed the rules to where you only needed 2 years of math?
Yes, I do
thought
remember that.
was crazy.
That was the best day of my life. And I'm sure I could speak for a lot of my community. People who hate math were like, thank God we can graduate.
My class was empty. I literally was like,
yeah, but math's hard.
oh, I love math. You're either a math person or a science person.
And I am a science person.
I'm not. I hate science.
Oh, wow.
I like
That's so funny.
Yeah.
What are you guys, math or science? Comment down below. If you're on audio, come to visual because
surprise,
we're in a weird setting. Not weird, just different.
Helly,
take it away. Back to you.
We're at my childhood home. I guess this isn't childhood. This is my
high school home.
Yeah, like my teenage home. Yeah. We're back here. This is the last time we're gonna be in the Bay until we move to New York. We're just like saying our goodbyes to everyone. We're doing like we're doing like a little barbecue-ish thing. It's actually gonna be tacos. I keep saying like barbecue at my place.
No, literally, Tanner was like, what should I bring to grill? And I was like, oh wait, we ordered tacos. He's like, but didn't she say barbecue? I was like, you're right.
It's just like so much easier than gathering. You know?
That's weird. Barbecue is like come however. Exactly. You're not worried about anything. Barbecue gathering, we're singing happy birthday for some reason.
Right. Yeah. And barbecue more so sets the ambiance and the environment of the party rather than the food we're eating. Mm-hmm. Right?
It makes it so you like don't stress. Like nobody's stressed about
don't get dressed
to wear.
Up. Yeah.
As we're both, I literally bought a dress yesterday. Well, it's different. It's our day.
And you're gonna it's what?
Our day.
Oh, our day, yeah. And you're totally gonna wear that dress again.
Oh yeah. I got a little
slip dress.
A little slip dress from Aritzia. And like
I feel like
Aritzia. That'll last me forever too.
Oh, it's gonna be a staple in your closet for so long.
Really silky and really nice. But it's weird to wear a dress. I tried it on. I was kind of like,
you're so not a dress person.
No. Seeing my body in a dress, I felt like I wasn't allowed to wear it. I felt like I was like
really
putting on something I'm not allowed to wear.
You have this one dress you've worn. It's like navy blue with stars on it.
Yes. I got rid of that. But
I love that dress on you.
It's the same cut.
Yeah.
I think that was even Aritzia. Remember how silky that thing was?
So nice.
And I just got rid of it. I don't know. I think I don't feel myself when I wear dresses. And I feel like that sounds so like, I'm not like other girls. And that's not what I mean by it.
I get it. You're either a dress person or you're not. It took me to my early adulthood to be a dress person.
Right. And you are a dress person now. And they look good on you. And like you have the body for it. Like for me personally, my torso is so long. So in a dress, you really see the length of my torso. Whereas,
but that's like people want long torsos.
Alex, mine is so long. Oh my God, my eyes twitching. All week, guys. My eyes been twitching. It's so long, and it like I feel like it's like long, and then my legs are so short, so my butt is like halfway down my body, like instead of like the 3/4.
I get you.
Like, I get you. Weird, you guys. That's why I always wear high waisted things because I'm like this.
It like evens it out.
Yeah, exactly. It evens it out.
I went to a Catholic school growing up, and you could we had a uniform, and you could either wear like tan pants or tan shorts, and like the boys wore tan pants, tan shorts,
khakis,
and then like a tucked in polo and a belt. You had to wear a belt, or the girls wore skirts and dresses, and they were like blue plaid skirts and dresses, and then like the polo was like tucked underneath the dress.
Cute.
I never wore a dress. My mom didn't even order it start of the school year because I just wore the khakis and the shirts.
What was the policy for like running around and stuff? Like you guys obviously had to wear like shorts under and shit, right?
Yeah, like you wore tights.
Okay.
And sneakers.
Because that would be my mentality as a young girl. Like I want to be able to go slide down the slide.
We didn't have a slide.
Oh my God, what did you do for fun?
We played a lot of kickball. There was like tetherball was our shit.
Even that kickball?
Yeah. No, yeah, shorts.
Okay.
Yeah, you wore shorts underneath.
Yeah, I probably would have been the pants till this day.
Yeah. It's just like so much more comfortable.
Yeah. And if I do a dress, it's long. Like if it's for an event, like a red carpet.
It hit the knees. I actually have a picture of me in the dress.
Oh my God. You should find it.
I have it.
Post it.
Okay.
Wait, what was that one you posted? Did you ever post it?
What
was it? Your first?
Oh God, my first Holy Communion.
It's the funniest picture of Alex.
I think I put it on my story.
When she was little, she had like this smile that was just like
when people told me to smile, it was so forced.
Like, okay,
yeah,
I'm smiling now. I'm happy now.
Like I was being forced to smile.
That's what it looked like in your eyes. Literally a lot of fear in those little eyes. Your first Holy Communion.
I mean, we won't go there.
Anyway, feels good to be up at a table. This feels good on my back.
Honestly,
this feels kind of good.
We got to rethink things.
I don't hate the table environment right now.
I hate it.
But are we so basic to do this season 3?
There's ways we can make it. What if it was like a couch and a coffee table?
That's cool.
And we got like one of those
TV trays. That's cool.
Sick. We could do like 90s living room.
And like VHSs and shit.
What do you guys think?
Okay.
Honestly, you guys are going to be the ones looking at it.
Yeah,
so it's up to you guys.
It's fully up to you guys.
But what if we did a 90s living room with TV trays?
Fucking
and
sick.
like went super funky with it.
Yeah. I love this.
I love that. And we can have these mounted on them.
Easy.
And then whenever we have a guest, we just pull in a third TV tray.
And they sit on a couch with us. This is really great.
I love this.
And it's smaller than that bed. So wherever we move, it's like that space is,
right.
It's there. It's allotted. Wow, I love this.
Oh my God. Done.
And like family art behind us on the wall. We should go get those portraits done where we're like on each other's shoulders.
You guys, I found a picture of my aunt when she was a kid. And it's one of those where they like double exposed like the same, like 2 different poses of the same person in one picture. Yeah. If that makes sense. It's like
the Step
Brothers.
Yeah.
And she's like,
it's so awkward.
Like super proper in one, and then the other one she's like smiling hella like weird. It's so funny. So we got to do that.
You should have touched me. I feel like we went through hell of her like family's pictures yesterday, and going through old pictures like that, it's crazy to see the evolution of like
portrait style.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the like expectations when someone's pulled out a camera. Like now people peace sign, tongue out, like, you know, it's all about being candid now.
Right.
Whereas for years
it was proper.
Think about the 1800s, even those portraits, it's all just
because it's supposed to capture your status in society. So like, yeah. So portraiture.
We're like,
right. That's where we stand. So people would get portrait. That's why like royal, I don't know, like high society royal people would get paintings done of them, and they would have to sit there for 8 like full days, and they would get full portraits painted of them. And like if you were able to do that, you were
right. You had that money, you had that time. Like, whoa, I never knew that.
Yeah.
The more you know.
The more you know. Update.
What?
Should we do the update now?
What update? Oh yeah. Alex has to tell you guys something.
I gotta tell you something. So next Monday will be our last episode of season 2. Dun dun dun.
I didn't even know this. She's just now telling me this.
I made the quick-witted decision.
I quit. Fuck this. No, for real, guys.
We actually last week we were sitting there and we were just kind of planning out our weeks ahead, and we realized we literally have 4 weeks. 4 weeks guys, to move to New York. We don't have a place. We don't have an apartment. We don't have a plan to move all of our things. We don't even have flights to get to New York. Like, we just need to really focus on this move right now. Right. And we don't want to let the podcast like slip between our fingers within these next couple weeks.
As far as quality.
Right. As far as quality and like paying it the attention it deserves and you guys deserve. So we are going to be starting our break after next Monday. We'll be back as soon as we're settled in New York. It won't be long. It won't be as long as the break in between season 1 and season 2. Yeah.
That was a whole other like different reason why that break was so long too.
Right. There was like logistic things that we need to figure out.
Right.
Now we're all like, once we're there and settled and have the set done, it's just, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Surprise.
But we figured out, or we like noticed, we have done nearly the exact same amount of episodes, season 1 and season 2. We actually did more this season. So
that's a good
we
feeling.
feel like we've put our all into this season.
Every time. I mean, we've told you guys so many times, every episode really is everything we have. Even after long work days, like, I mean, I know a lot of you guys know this, but to those of you who might be new, like Alex works a full-time job on top of this. So like,
so do you.
For sure. But like I'm always kind of in this mode where you have to go from your job
day,
and
I mentally
really
switch.
Yeah. Cause like, you know, you get it.
Yeah.
But we still always put our all. We still always go down to the garage at the end of the night and we're like, and at the end we end up feeling better. Like it's brought us closer. Like we always want to give it our all. So these next few weeks we feel like we fully can't. And that's why we're going to just start the break now. We were going to start it anyway around this time. It's just now we have a date for you guys.
Right.
I know this isn't a full surprise to some of you who have kind of heard us trickle through the past few weeks about how the end is near. But yeah, no,
it's not for
good.
long.
It's not for long. It does suck, but now that this is season 2. Remember that feeling we had when we started season 2, that fresh feeling. We had so many stories. Like I'm excited for the comeback of season 3. It'll probably be like early July, by the way. Mm-hmm. But like we're going to have so many just stories out the gate.
Yeah. You guys are going to catch us with like fresh eyed, not only for the new season, but in a new like place in our life in New York, a place that we've never experienced culturally living there. Like there's going to be so much going on in our lives that we're going to be able to share with you for season 3. It's going to be a really big like jump into the season.
We're going to have just fresh, I hate
a
this
fresh
word, but
like
content too.
Yeah, we're just going to have like a fresh take on life, and it's going to be huge.
A whole new wave of like types of it. That too. Yes, exactly. A whole wave of a new advice with like different types of people.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, it's going to be amazing.
I'm excited.
So, all good things. But yes, this is our second to last episode. And did you already say this? We had so many entries for this that the next episode, it's just going to be part 1, part 2. This is what we built the podcast on, was
giving you guys advice.
Right. Back in season 1, it was advice every Thursday. Like that was our thing. And it feels good to kind of bring it back home before the season ends and really just answer anything you guys are going through, anything you've been going through that you want to talk about. There's so much. So part 1, part 2.
This Monday, next Monday.
Yep.
Cool.
That was not as hard as I thought. And I think it's because we have one more episode. I'm not like...
It's not the end.
But like next one, I'm going to be like...
Yeah, it's
going
to
feel like the last day of school when you're saying bye to your friends.
Yeah.
I would always cry last day of school.
Really?
Yeah, I got really emotional last day of school.
I don't think I did. I was just like more so excited to get the hell out of there.
I remember 4th grade specifically. I was saying bye to one of my friends and I started crying. And I remember thinking, I am feeling something right now. Emotions. What is this?
Did you never you didn't hang out with your friends in the summer?
I mean, like you guys, like close friends, but not like the ones you had in certain classes.
Right.
Like those were good friends.
I didn't make class friends.
I loved class friends because it was like, for some reason, and now looking back on this, I feel like there's got to be a bigger reason. Maybe I'm like stupid.
You're not stupid.
Well, hear me out. I never had classes with my friends. They never put, like, whoever made the class schedules, I was never with friends. I had one class with Brie my whole life.
Yeah.
I had one class with you my whole life. I had a few with Leanna.
Did we have one high school class together besides bowling?
No. That's what I'm saying. Is there something wrong? Like common factor?
No. I didn't have many classes with a lot of people.
High school, yes, for sure. That makes sense. I mean, logistically, you were enrolled in completely different like curriculum as me, but my other, like even like Carly and shit, like I had a few with her. Like I never had my like
Were
homies.
you a talker?
No.
Huh.
I was like
good.
I was
you were
a quiet
good
student.
Yeah.
Like I would answer questions, but I wasn't like obnoxious. I wasn't like, are you gonna collect the homework?
That wasn't me either.
I know it wasn't. I saw you like check yourself though. You were like, wait,
no,
that sounds like I could have done that.
It wasn't
you were not
me.
like that.
It wasn't me, but
you thought it.
I thought it. I said in my head, when is she going to collect this damn homework? Because I did damn well. When are we going to start the test that she talked about?
Oh my God. The pop quiz.
I want to get it done because I know I'm going to kill it.
She was only saying there was a pop quiz to get everybody there. There's not actually a pop quiz.
Oh.
See, us kids.
I prayed for pop quizzes.
Oh, see, I didn't because they only meant I couldn't ditch class.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having coffee on an empty stomach, and this is rough. Ugh.
Oh. I just realized I haven't like looked at the camera this whole time.
Well, look at it.
Look at it.
Hey guys.
What are you wearing?
Oh, I thought you meant today. I was like, we already talked about that. I'm wearing these socks a lot.
I feel like you've worn them a lot.
Well, hear me out. It was a 4-pack.
So they're new socks. Okay.
They're new every time. These are okay. This table's nice because look, when we do outfits of the day, I could show it.
Oh, well, I mean, we're on a bed, so people see our whole outfit.
Oh yeah, the whole right. Literally, this is not that innovative. These are my Nike socks. That's all.
And you wore those to Cheller.
I did. Those ones are
brown
from that dust.
I bet.
Ooh, crunch! Something popped. And then I'm wearing my sweats. You guys have seen these so many times. These are the
Tessa's, right?
Yeah, Tessa's sweats that she'll never get back.
Oh my God! Speaking of stealing things.
You guys.
No, I don't even know if I can share this. I don't even know.
Okay. You want me to? Come on. It's so funny. You guys, we've probably talked about this. Everywhere we go, we like to steal a little something. It's harmless.
It's so harmless.
The
it's like
salt
a fork.
and pepper shaker. Yeah, a fork. My favorite is like the oyster spoons.
Right.
Those like little tiny ones. It's harmless.
This one was.
This one? Your biggest victory yet. And she gets all the praise. Usually it's a team effort, but I instigate it. We're walking out. I say, Alex,
we're at our like local bar in our hometown.
Bar and Grill.
We're not gonna say the name because they're gonna come for us.
Guys, I woke up to a text because hold on, we were with Tanner last night too. She texted Tanner and I. She goes, "Why do I feel like I could say the town right?
Yeah.
Why do I feel like Benicia police are going to come knocking on our door about the mat?"
I stole a floor mat, and not just like
a
floor mat,
2x1 welcome mat. No,
the one that's like outside the front, like it's
4x6. That's what it looked on the back.
4 feet by 6 feet.
That's a human. It's a really square human. Yeah, she did. So we're walking out and I was like, Alex. And she goes, I got it. That's the thing. You give Alex just like
a bit of confidence and I skyrocket.
And I got it. Like it's just like that. I was already thinking about it. That like
I'm way ahead of you.
Yeah, you blink slow and you kind of sway back and forth 3 to 4 times and you're like, I got it. I'm like, she does have it. She is not capping.
It was the smoothest thing I've ever done in my whole life.
I'd love to get that footage.
I don't. I'm terrified that they're going to find it.
You're literally fine.
Okay.
So she's walking out and she just like curled the mat up in her feet.
Yeah. I lifted the edge with my toe and then not us teaching you guys how to steal. I lifted the edge up with my toe and I started to roll it with my feet as I was walking.
That's good.
And then I get to past the front door. Tanner already has the back trunk open.
Oh yeah.
We flip it in, get in the car, easy getaway.
I sped. My back wasn't even touching the seat. I was sitting up.
No one saw. No one saw.
You're fine. That probably happens more than we think.
I hope so.
It was a good one, though.
Good one.
I mean, the
We're
damage
putting
is
it
done.
in our apartment.
No, the way she oh, careful. We keep hitting the thing and it shakes the camera. I just noticed.
Shit,
sorry if we've been doing that. I wake up to her coming in the room where I was sleeping and she goes, Kristen, it's totally going to fit in my suitcase. And she already has it folded by her suitcase. She's like, no, we're good. It's going to, I was like, good morning. Like, good to see you too. You're like, it's good.
I'm like on the same note, I'm like so proud of myself.
You should be. It's fine.
But then also like I just committed a crime.
That was such a petty crime. Like
Petty theft.
that's what, I mean, I don't know. Should we ask a cop? Should we call the cops and ask?
Do you think I'm okay?
Hey, 911. Yeah, I was wondering if I'm a criminal or not. Can you interview me?
Oh God. Okay.
What are you wearing?
I'm wearing this dress from. I just looked at it like it has sleeves.
These lace sleeves.
This is from ASOS. What's new?
Really,
I'm not wearing socks. I'm not gonna put these corns on the table.
Not his abs. Ow! Oh my God. This is painful.
Do you want to take some water?
I like it. I missed this. I missed coffee a lot. I haven't had it in like a month, and I told myself, "Fuck this!" and not listening to my doctor. I will follow every other direction, but I need coffee. But first, coffee, right? Thumbs up. But first, coffee is your motto every day. Oh my God. Okay. Song of the day. I have such a good song and I'm not going to play it because we're on YouTube. I don't want to get copywritten, but you have to listen to it later. It's called Still in Love by Luke Brown.
Luke Brown?
No, Luke Brown. Heckin' names. Okay. Luke Brown, Jacuzzi Jefferson, Calica, and Ezzy.
Oh wait, I've heard this.
Oh my God. It's so good.
Because I remember Jacuzzi Jefferson. Sick name.
That sounds like a cartoon's name.
Do you think he records all of his songs in a jacuzzi?
Yes.
Okay, my song of the day is King Princess for My Friends.
Cute.
It dropped March, so it's pretty new.
March what, 28th?
No, 18th.
Oh, that's 10 days before my birthday.
And that's 6 months and 10 days after
I
before mine.
love that we're 6 months apart.
Yeah.
We're 6 months and 20 days apart.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what time you were born?
12:17.
I was
AM.
11:15. AM.
Yeah. I was like almost March 27th.
Ew.
I don't even look like a March 27th. No offense if your birthday is March 27th. It's just not mine.
No, you're not an odd number.
No.
I think we're both evens.
Yeah, and we're eighths.
Yeah. We've discovered this before.
And have you guys heard this before? Get ready. Are you guys listening? Come closer to the camera. My mom's birthday is her brother's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Leanna's nephew's birthday is
your dad's
my
birthday.
dad's birthday.
And then there was another one.
Oh, Monica and Vince have the same freckle on their foot.
Is that it?
I think so.
We also have the same freckle on our butt cheek.
And we also have the same freckles on our arms.
And there was another
Me, you, Brie, and Leanna all have the same freckle on our butt cheek. The same butt cheek. Yep.
It's crazy. We'll show a picture. No, I'm just kidding. The other one.
We'll just get really close up.
Ew. A zoomed in freckle is questionable. We had the same like last 4 digits of our phone numbers. Like your old house phone is the last 4 digits of like my grandparents or something.
You know the story of my house phone?
No.
Oh my God. My parents have had the same house phone number since they got together.
Oh.
We moved over the bridge and we had to switch phone numbers. We got the closest one that we possibly could to like the digits.
Right.
But then when we moved back to Vallejo, my dad called the phone line and was like, is there any chance this number's open? And they were like, oh yeah. So we got our old phone number back. So now we have the phone number that my parents have had since they were got together.
That's exactly why I never want to change my phone number. We were talking about this. Like it becomes part of like
it
you.
Is.
And that's when they had together, like when they decided to have a joint landline and like become a family.
Yep.
That's so cute. Do you want to tell people what it is?
And my mom still uses the house phone. It rings off the hook.
Who calls? Like people call it?
Yeah, my Auntie Kirsten all the time. It's either my Auntie Kirsten, my grandparents, my Oma and Opa.
Valid.
Or like Michelle calls all the time. My mom just constantly on the phone with her friends.
House phone.
House phone.
What does it look like nowadays? You got one around here?
I think it's downstairs, but it's, I mean, standard. They haven't changed much.
Is it wireless?
Yeah.
That's nice.
God, yeah.
Well, I don't freaking know.
It's definitely not corded.
I mean, cute though. We're talking about having a landline in New York.
Oh, we will.
I think it's a good idea. It's better for emergencies, landlines.
Yeah.
If you call, because then they could track you easier than a cell phone.
Right.
Quicker.
Especially in New York. Like,
yeah. So landlines are good.
If we ever get like broken into, we just got to rush to the landline.
Right. Please, sir, hold on. My landline's over there. He's like, go ahead. You're good.
Should we get into it?
Yeah, but first we have to take a break for our sponsor. Our sponsor today is BetterHelp. And as we were just saying, we're getting pretty stressed about this move. It's coming on the wire. And I feel like whenever I'm stressed, as you know, we literally dealt with this yesterday, I get so overwhelmed that I kind of shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting to learn, like, take it one thing at a time and get it all out, whether that's on paper, talking to somebody, whatever. If you get everything you're stressed out of your head, it's easier to kind of like organize how you're going to attack it.
Right.
So I feel like talking to someone is the best way to do it. Talking to somebody who isn't stressed because it's not their stress.
Yep.
They can look at it as like, oh, step 1, do this. Step 2, do this.
They simplify it.
Exactly. Great resource if you're ever stressed, talk to somebody. And BetterHelp is a great resource for that because they're available online, worldwide, for everybody, anywhere. And stress comes at not just 4 o'clock on Thursdays. So it's an amazing resource.
Yeah. And I feel like especially with this move, like moving across the country is so hard on your body as it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I could already tell this stress is affecting my sleep. It's affecting like my jaw. I'm getting really tight.
Yep.
And it's like you said, releasing that energy is huge for stress. It's crucial.
It's crucial. Even just releasing the physical symptoms of it then helps free up some space in your mind to like, okay.
And like we've said this before, stress induces stress.
I'm stressed.
It's making me stressed right now.
And it's not a word anymore. Stress.
BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy. Give it a try and see if online therapy can help lower your stress.
Again, this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Oddvice listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/oddvice. That's BetterHelp.com/oddvice. Thanks, BetterHelp. Okay. This feels good to be doing an episode like this. Like, I'm excited to
love it.
Read everybody's shit.
Yeah.
It's like these episodes, do you ever feel like you get so much?
Oh my God.
Hearing their experiences, like,
well, and it's kind of one of those things where every time I think I'm going through something, I'm like, oh, I'm the only one who's experienced. No one gets me. I'm the only one who's going through this. And like me reading this, it's always kind of like, oh, we all do experience the same shit.
Yeah. You would think on some like deeper universe level, soul level, like why do our brains default to isolation, thinking we're the only ones, when on like an evolutionary level, we've all been dealing with the same heartbreak and loss. Like, why can't we all just like come together and live? I think
it's just like easier to, I don't know, like
sabotage maybe?
Like, sabotage, like self-pity wise,
right.
Like no one's going to understand me anyway.
Right.
Why, like
it really boils to self-esteem.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm not even.
Why like the world's against me?
Why would anybody ever relate to me because I'm such a POS?
Yep.
Like,
and like we all do it.
It's sad.
It's really sad. That's why we have this though.
It's depressing. Oh. Anyway. Yeah, that's like, exactly. Resources like this though.
Yeah.
Like this therapy, BetterHelp, for example. Yeah, it's just, you're not alone. So that's why we like to do these episodes.
Never alone.
Never ever.
This podcast has helped me like realize that I'm not alone too.
Oh my God. Yeah. All right. This is my first one. Hi, y'all. I hope I'm not too late, but I have a dilemma that I'd really love some advice on. Sorry if it's a little long. I'll try and keep it short. I'm sure this is a common one, but I really miss my ex. We met at the end of 2019. I'm almost 24 and he's 25, and we're friends with benefits for a while before we started dating in August of 2020. That lasted about 4 months before we broke up. It was all on good terms. We stayed friends and even hung out several times. It was never awkward. We just decided something wasn't right and maybe bad timing. He's literally perfect and everything I've ever wanted in a partner. Plus, all my friends and family absolutely adore him. I've never had a connection like this or even close with anybody else. He recharges my social battery instead of draining it. And as an introvert, that's unheard of. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I think the real main reason why we broke up was because of me. I was in a pretty bad place mentally then, and I've always had a hard time expressing and communicating how I feel. So I tend to come across as cold and distant, even when I don't mean to, especially in a relationship setting. He was always super understanding and lovely about mental health things, but it was just really unfair towards him because I think he didn't feel wanted. I've been telling myself to see a therapist for years about my communication and processing issues, but I'm like you, Alex, and I just keep putting it off even though I know it will help. Mm-hmm. I've gotten a lot better on my own, and am now in a much better place mentally. I've realized that I'm really fucking in love with this man and I don't know what to do about it. We don't talk as much anymore since we were both busy and he lives 5 hours away now. So I don't know if he's seeing someone or not, or if there's any chance he feels the same, but I literally can't stop thinking about him and how much better we could be now. I did write him a letter, but I haven't sent it as it was more to process and to get my own feelings organized. But I don't know, should I send it and tell him how I feel or let him go and try to move on? We both have dated other people since, but at least for me, no one, girl or guy I'm bi, has even come close to making me feel the way he did. I haven't had any interest in dating now for months because of that. Thanks for the advice, Lauren. Ooh, I love how you spell your name. Lorin.
Ooh.
Very cool.
I had a coworker. She spelled her name like that.
It's so like refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like new.
Unique.
Fun and fresh and funky. Okay, the reason I chose this passage, what's it called?
Title.
The subject was, should I send the letter? And I immediately, yes. Mm-hmm. I know this is a little bit of a different situation, but I recently wrote a letter to my dad. Same type of thing. It was really just to get shit off my chest. You know, like I really, when my therapist told me to write it, she even said, write it without him ever even seeing it. Write the shit you know, that nobody else ever has to see. Just get it down on paper. So I did. And I read it for probably like a month. I literally like had the Word document. I typed it because I kind of wish I handwrote it, but I typed it because it was just like,
you could easily
quicker.
Like, yeah.
I don't write as fast as I think. I type as fast as I think. Anyway, literally not the point. And I sat on it and I finally sent it a few weeks ago and I'm really glad I did. You know, there's a point where you said, does he feel the same? And whether he does or not, we don't know, but sending the letter opened up so many doors with me and my dad that like, I couldn't imagine if I'd never sent it.
Right.
Like if you have an inkling to send it, I think there's a reason there. I also think you will sit and wonder if it was meant to be kind of, you know, forever, or however long he's in your consciousness if you don't send the letter. And if you send it and say you don't even get a response back or the feelings aren't mutual, you can at least walk away.
You did all you could.
You did everything you could. You put yourself, your heart out there, however you want to look at it. You did everything you can to at least let someone know how you feel. And what they want to do with that is, you know, their decision. But I think moving that way through life with everything, just putting 100% of ourselves into everything, you won't regret it. Like even if my dad never responded,
you got it out there.
It felt good. Yep. Literally just dropping it in the mailbox today. I was like, wow.
It's a release.
Completely. So as far as the letter, I would send it. Your emotions towards the situation though, a very, very common situation. And I know you said it's probably common, but I miss my ex, but like, that's also a big thing a lot of people don't admit to. So I'm proud of you.
Really big
for writing in and, talking about it, but it's normal. You're valid. And I absolutely think you should send the letter.
Send it.
Send it.
Grief of a family member, how to cope with it. Hello, girls. First off, I just want to say how much I love you guys and your podcast. Now to my question. How does one handle grief of a loved one? My dad has cancer and sadly is incurable. I just turned 25 and I didn't think that I would be losing a parent so soon. He's becoming more and more ill each day, and it's horrible to watch someone you love so much suffer so much and not being themselves anymore because they are in so much pain. I also know I'm going to lose him soon and that he won't be there for the big and small moments in my life, like buying my first home or my first car, helping me out with things, watch and talk about movies and music. That's always been our thing. And to give me hugs anymore. It really sucks. And I know both of you have lost someone in your close family. And I was just wondering what has gotten you through your grief. I know that some things that worked for you might not work for me, but it's always nice to hear the experiences of someone who's been there. I hope you're both doing well. Vivi. Vivi? Vivi? V-I-V-I. Vivi?
Vivi.
Wow. My heart goes out to you and your family. I've been like prepping myself for grief for a really long time for my grandparents. And it's kind of one of those things where you can't really prepare yourself. I've tried really hard to prepare myself for the after. And me and my mom actually had this talk after my grandma died. Life just kind of, oh my
God. How many bracelets you got on your legs? What does life do?
Life just kind of starts anew after. Me and my mom, we were kind of like, it feels like we're in this, I don't know how to
time vortex.
Well,
was it when you were
we're
there?
just like in this new like club of people who've lost someone.
Yep.
Like I've never experienced a death before in my close family. And I'm not sure if you've lost your grandparents or not, or if you've experienced death in any other way, but it's kind of just like, oh, this is life now. Yeah. It's so hard to, whoa, 908.
Whoa, how can you read that?
It's so hard to put into words, but you kind of just like force yourself to get through it. Like in the after, I know something that's helped me is, and it seems like you might relate, seeing someone you love in so much pain. You're kind of, that's one thing that you'll find comfort in after, is knowing that they're no longer in that pain. I've seen a lot of my grandparents in a lot of pain, and now I know that they are honestly better off and a lot happier, and whatever you believe in, wherever they are after their passing, find comfort in knowing that they're no longer feeling that physical pain. That's no longer a burden on them. Their souls are free. Yeah, it's hard. I never thought I could like put into words how I would experience this. Like I keep calling it the after, because it really is like you said, a time vortex. My life before losing my grandparents is so different than, I look at life differently.
Completely.
We joined a club of people who've lost people, and it's just like your life is before losing a loved one, and then you have this life after losing a loved one.
And like we were saying earlier, you really are never alone. That, that club, there's a lot of people in it.
It feels like that.
And I know you're reading Untamed right now by Glennon Doyle, but a part that you'll get to, which you'll love, is where she's talking about when she lost her grandma, and she describes it as, the day it all happened, they knew she was going to die. They went to the place where the brave people go. And that's like how she described that, whether it's a hospital room or a phone call, a sudden death, it comes in so many degrees, and they're all very unfortunate. But what I experienced, because my grandma was also like my first big death, I really became primal.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I really noticed, I anticipated it too. It's kind of something I feel like once you learn about it as like a kid, or whenever you kind of really digest that death is real,
yeah,
you kind of always think about it the rest of your life.
You always think about it, and you're always like, I wonder how I'm going to react when I lose a loved one.
Even us thinking about it, that's primal.
Yes.
We're anticipating. I mean, all your reactions to things, even when there's like a big boom, everybody crouches down, like everything we're wired to do is to kind of avoid death and keep our bodies and ourselves safe.
Yeah.
And when you go through it, especially with a family member, for me, it became this like pack mentality where like my family got really close for that time, which like we're not close. So like that was even kind of weird. And what I'm getting to here is you will adapt.
Yeah.
You will adapt. It will be hard, but really, really trust the process and whatever you believe in. Like death is inevitable for all of us on this planet.
And there's no way to like properly prepare for it.
Right.
You kind of just, get through it.
And I think the number one thing that I keep telling myself, I feel like you kind of forever grieve a loved one, is just feel it. Just feel it. Cry, scream, whatever you react naturally is okay. It is normal. It's you. It's for you. Even if you look around and everybody's crying and you're not, that's okay. Normal. That's normal. Everything is normal. You will grieve how your soul and your mind is supposed to for whatever reason. So really just be gentle with yourself and feel it.
Right.
But I'm sorry. That's very heavy, and sending all of our love. We're always here if you ever need to write in again. And my heart goes out to you. Okay, my next one. This subject line really got me. In love with my brother's best friend who isn't single.
Uh-oh.
It sounds like a title of like a Sex and the City episode. Hey, ladies, this is something I've been battling with since December, and I really feel like there's no right answer. Please keep anon. So, my brother got married in December of 2021, and I was a bridesmaid. I, of course, have known my brother's friends for years, but when one of his groomsmen walked into the rehearsal, I felt like it was love at first recite. Never heard that, recite, because I haven't seen him in years. His best friend, Jake, is so fine, and he and I got along well immediately. We laughed and joked and danced all weekend. Up until now, 4 months later, we talk every day. Holy shit. It's mostly about dumb things like what is our dream car or weird foods he eats, but we talk every day. He has easily become one of my favorite people because he's so weird and easy to talk to.
Oh.
Here's the advice. He's had a girlfriend for 4 years. I promise I am not being biased when I say this, but she's truly awful. She backed out of my brother's wedding 2 days before the ceremony. She has gotten into screaming matches with our friends because she's just so difficult to mesh with. Jake even tried to break up with her, but somehow he'll come back and tell my brother she's working on it. But that's in quotes. No. She's working on it. They have a long distance relationship. He's in San Diego. She's in LA. And she never visits him. It's always him driving to see her. He hardly talks about her with me, and I swear we don't flirt yet. So I don't really feel guilty for getting to know him so well. I feel like I'm stuck in a spot where I know I'll be the only one hurt, but I don't know how to back out. I really don't want to back out because I swear I've fallen for him. I think about him all the time, and I can't help but smile when I get a text from him. Is there anything you think I should do? I hope I'm not too late. You're not too late.
You're not too late.
Wow. This is intense. Like, to have those strong feelings for someone is already a lot on the brain, but now they're with someone at like 4 years.
Yeah.
Like,
it sounds like he needs to, if their relationship is as bad as like you're making it sound, like he needs to go through it and he needs to experience this, and he could be the only one to make the decision to leave.
Yeah.
As far as like you, and I'm glad you haven't like progressed with flirting or anything. It seems like you have a level head and like, boundaries are there.
Yep.
And I also wouldn't feel bad for getting to know him. It seems like even if you're there for him to like release these silly things that you guys talk about, and he's able to get his mind off of whatever struggles he's going through in his relationship, like you could very easily be there as a friend for him right now.
Right.
Which he probably will need if he's going to end up going through this breakup.
Yep.
And if that's like what you are for him in this time, it's not to say that like nothing would progress after, or, you know, we don't know the future. But if you could just be there for him as a friend.
Definitely keep it friendly.
Yeah.
Until then, I mean, I know it's hard and you're worried about getting hurt. It's hard to say what's going to happen in the future. But I also believe in like following your heart in the cheesiest way possible.
And you've said you don't want to give up. Like you don't. Yeah. You don't want to hide from your feelings, which is admirable.
Feelings that strong, how could you even hide from them, you know? Like, I feel like you could probably relate to that too, but just let him go through it, because I would hate for you, even if you like verbalized, you know, hey, like, are you gonna like break up with her? Or, like, started talking about that. I would hate for you to carry that guilt of like meddling and being involved and like, you know, kind of just talking shit behind his relationship's back, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like it's still not your place, and I would never want you to mess up that relationship and then have karma come back and get you for, say you guys are together down the line, then it's like, are you gonna feel like
something's gonna creep up at some point? Like it's just like it's like a never ending doom.
Because you hear that's like a very common thing that people say is like, if someone leaves you for someone, they're gonna do it again.
Yep.
So like, just let it ride out, and you'll know. I promise you will know when the time comes where you need to pull out. Yeah. If it's like really gonna hurt you, you will know. But until then, just
it sounds like your heart's happy where it is right now.
Yeah.
That's the best you could do. Okay, next one. Oddvice needed. Hey girlies, I would like to stay anonymous. I just moved states and I regret it.
Oh shit.
I spent so much money on the move and miss my friends terribly. I'm going to remain positive and take advantage of the move. I'm just not sure how to stay busy and make new genuine friends that I can trust. What would y'all do in this situation? Love you both. Okay, my first thought, I picked this one because my first thought was, I hate that you're saying you regret it. I really like, if we could end the podcast today and we give one piece of advice, please don't regret anything you do in your life. Mm-hmm. There's a reason you wanted to do this move. There's a reason you put so much money and effort into this, and you know, you're really brave. That's really hard to make this move, and it sounds like you're close to your friends or like close emotionally to your friends, and for you to make that move independently is really big. I want you to kind of like sit and distinguish whether or not this is discomfort and like it's more of the fear of the change rather than you actually like hate your living situation, because those are two very different things. And if it is something like you can control, as far as like you hate the apartment that you're in and the job that you have, like those external things, if those are something that you can change to make you happier, do that. But if you're in a place where, say, I don't know why you made the move, but if you're going to school and you like your school and it's just like things aren't moving for you the way you want them to, give it time. And like, I'm glad you're staying positive, because all it does take is time to settle in a new spot. I didn't love LA when I first got there. Honestly, I moved because I was escaping a relationship. So I hated it. It was the change that made me hate this new life that I was living. But you give it time, you meet new people, like things will start to fall into place. And I promise, if they aren't those external things that you can control, your life will pick up wherever you are. As far as meeting new friends, we've said this before, go out and do things that you like to do. Go sit at a coffee shop and pull out a book, or go bowling or do anything, and you'll meet people who'd like to do the same things that you do, or go on Bumble Friends.
Did they say like what state?
Mm-mm.
No.
You just switch states.
Well, there's always something to do anyway, right? But I think also like maybe this is more of a independence thing for you.
Yeah.
Like Alex said, there was a reason you made this jump without that friend group. I mean, I get that that's hard. It would be so hard. It was hard doing that when I moved to LA without you guys for a few years. Like it was the hardest thing. And I had those moments where I was like, why the hell did I do this? But like, what if I didn't do it?
Yeah.
Would this podcast even be here? Like things like that. You'll be surprised when you're going to look back on this time in your life and be like, wow, if I didn't move, XYZ would have never happened.
Mm-hmm.
So really ride this independence wave right now, because no matter your age, that is like a part of life that everybody needs to go through.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't. A lot of people stay in that comfort, always have the roommate, always have the friend. You got to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Just like we keep saying, just feel this one. Really just feel this time right now and take it in. Just watch. You're going to look back and be like, I am so glad I moved. So glad.
And please let us know. Like, keep us updated. I really want, if you're willing to like share more details, let us know why you moved, where you are. I mean, I'm very happy to like help you through this, because I feel this a lot.
Okay, my next one. The subject is praise makes me uncomfortable. Same. Hey ladies, I'd like to stay anonymous. First of all, I just want to say that I absolutely love this podcast. It holds a special little place in my heart, and it makes me feel like I have two older sisters looking out for me. You guys always help me to get through my days at work, and for that, I can't thank you enough. Oh my God.
Okay, when people say you hold a special place in my heart, I always picture me in like an anatomically correct heart.
Me too.
Inside
like
of a heart.
Lower
in a
left.
Yes.
Like in like a little, like there's a border tape line. Like you have to stay in it. Me too. I completely visualize that. Tickle, tickle. You hear it? Like you feel this? All right, gals. Now I need advice. I just recently finished schooling for the profession I wanted to go into, and just yesterday landed a really great job in the field I was aiming for. Congrats. That's amazing. My boyfriend and his family have been so supportive, and they have helped me through every step of the way. However, my boyfriend's mom in particular was super excited to hear the news, so much that she wanted to throw a big party to celebrate. Now, don't get me wrong. I love that she's wanting to tell the world about my big accomplishments because she's proud, but I've always found it hard to receive praise and share my accomplishments with other people. It sort of makes me uncomfortable in a way, and it makes me feel like I'm being cocky or bragging to an extent. God, I relate to this so much. I don't think that of other people when they share their accomplishments. I just don't like doing it myself. I've always found praise to be uncomfortable because I don't feel like I do enough to deserve it, if that makes sense. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining because I really do appreciate her support. It's just that I really feel weird about that kind of stuff. I grew up with a very strict and religious family, so my parents always held a really high standard for me. Being the oldest and being Hispanic really took a toll on me as well, because I was given certain expectations to go above and beyond and make something out of sacrifices that my family made. My family isn't big on recognition and praise either, so that's another reason for why it throws me off when I receive it. Do you think it's bad that I don't want my boyfriend's family to make such a big deal out of all this? My boyfriend always tells me that I need to feel more proud of myself and accept the recognition, but I don't know how. Any advice? Wow. This is literally one of the first conversations I ever had with my therapist a few years ago. Praise, compliments, all that. I can't stand it. It's honestly, it's a big reason why I even hate coming home to like the Bay, because like people are like, oh my God, I see what you're doing in LA. I'm so proud. I'm like, stop. And I get it. Like you feel cold for doing that because you're like, they're trying to be nice. And it's not that you don't appreciate the gesture, but it's,
you don't want like what they're saying to be true.
And you want to know why? Because you don't believe it about yourself. And I know that sounds harsh, but really sit and think about it, because it made so much sense after my therapist broke it down for me. When we are praised and we don't like it, it makes us feel uncomfortable, whether it's a compliment or something, praise for a milestone in your life. The reason you dislike it, but you like it when other people get it, you're proud of them, you think it's great. But the reason you don't like it is because you don't think you deserve it. And that's all a reflection of your self-esteem. And it doesn't come off cocky because you actually did the thing to deserve the praise. Cocky to me is a false representation.
Yeah.
Right. There's no, there's nothing to back it up. It's an overcompensation to fill something else, to make it, look like you accomplished something, but you really did accomplish this thing. So the praise is real.
Valid.
It's valid. So don't feel cocky. It's really it really just takes a lot to work on. I think this sounds kind of elementary, but one of the biggest things that I started doing is simply, I don't know if this is uncomfortable for you, but for me, it was hard to even say thank you when someone else would compliment me. Like I would just, I'd be, sometimes with a joke, I'd be like, stop, or like I'd lean away, or I'd compliment them back, like completely divert the energy back on them. Like those tactics are self-sabotaging, but I get it, but just really try and take it in, because you do deserve it, and tell yourself you deserve it. And I know you grew up in a family who didn't give it to you, so that's another big reason why it's not even in your realm, because you didn't have it growing up. But you have it now, and you're still young, and these people are really proud of you. And just that simple thank you will help your subconscious just take in that love a little bit, which will also raise your self-esteem. Just be open and say thank you. Take it day by day, but you deserve it. And that word probably doesn't even have meaning anymore. Like when people say you deserve, I'm like, what? But you do. And now I'm like, I need to take my own advice, but like, I feel you. It's a big thing, but it is, the root of it is self-esteem most of the time. Mm-hmm. So just take it moment by moment, take it in, and say thank you.
This one's called How to Know Thyself.
Shakespeare.
Hey girlies, please keep an on. I've been wanting advice since the beginning of this podcast, but never got myself to write in, so prepare for a read. I love new writers.
I love reading.
2+ years ago, my grandmother passed away, and I believe it truly changed me as a person. It's almost like from that point forward, I officially grew up, because with her left my childlike innocence and hope for the world. It's exactly what I tried to put into words 5 minutes ago.
Yep.
Nothing else mattered more than the fact that my grandmother was no longer here. COVID started shortly after, and the way the world was going at the time, it made me almost hate the country I live in. The last 2 years have been eye-opening and made me contemplate everything in my life: friends, family, and my relationship. Early this month, my boyfriend of 5+ years and I broke up. The only thing that brought us to this conclusion was the realization that we need to find some self-love. He's still my best friend, the person that knows me the most in this entire world. That includes family and friends, and we still live together. In a month from now, I'm going to move on my own, hoping I make it, because cost of living in my area is stupid expensive, and I am a paycheck to paycheck kind of gal. I've always wanted to live alone, but I've never done it, so I hope it is something that will help me figure myself out and get a strict routine going, because I don't work out, I don't eat healthy, or eat much, if that. Since the time I was a kid, I've always molded myself to accommodate others. I overthink a lot. I try to make everyone around me comfortable and happy, but at the same time, I know I'm compromising my own. At this point in my life, I need to figure out what kind of person I am, because I feel I don't know myself very well. I feel like the friends I've made throughout life don't see things how I do. And that makes it hard, because it makes me realize I just probably wasn't myself, or I've changed perhaps. I'm scared of this new chapter, and although I know it's good, I am terrified of conversing with new people. I'm not good at small talk or talk at all. I mostly just listen. I dread going out because I'll have to converse with people, and it could just be my own friends, which makes me wonder, how the hell am I supposed to meet new people? I've also never been on a formal date. I've only ever dated friends, so I don't even know how to flirt at this point. I listen to your guys' stories. I dream of stories like that. Having friends like you guys have, although y'all grew up together, I'm kind of late for that. And being able to go out and about so confidently and talk with new people all the time, I'm probably not ready for that right now anyway. I've been looking into therapy, but I'm a procrastinator and nervous to talk to new people. That includes a therapist. This is getting really long, and I'm realizing I haven't asked anything, but I've listened to you for so long. I know so long now, I feel like I needed to vent to someone. Thank you for all the advice you guys have given me already. It seems that every time I go through something new, that's the week's topic for the episode. I've learned so much from you and hope to get to a point where I'm proud of myself because there is a lot to be proud of. I just don't know it yet, I guess. I hope to find something in life that makes me happy or have something to look forward to. Because if you told me right now that tomorrow is my last day, I probably wouldn't be that mad about it. P.S. I have a dark sense of humor and I promise I'm not hurting myself. I can't handle that right now. Love you girls, and I'm excited for your new chapter in New York. It's a place I've always dreamt of visiting, so Kristen, please vlog. Thank you. Okay, I relate to this one so much. I even said it a couple of minutes ago. When I moved to LA from my hometown, I was getting out of a relationship, and in that 4-year relationship, I had lost myself so much. I relate to you. I mean, I'm an introvert too. I don't think I'm good at conversing with people. It's definitely like a self-esteem thing. I've always been a people pleaser in that I will conform to like what I used to conform to, like whatever other people wanted to do. My first year in LA, I hated it because I was by myself. I didn't know who I was as a person, as an individual. But then once I started to settle, one thing that I like to do is kind of, and I think I've said this before on the podcast, but it's worth speaking over and over. A tactic that I taught myself was, in any given situation, I kind of like register how I react and how I am in certain situations. And I kind of like started to formulate what kind of person I was in my head. I'm like, I don't even know. Does this making sense?
Yes.
Like
you started observing yourself to get to know yourself.
Yeah. I started to really see like who I was, and I started like connecting the dots in my head. Like, oh, I reacted this way to this. Maybe that like matches up with why I am this way in these situations. Mm-hmm. And it was like really cool because I started to like make these patterns of who I was, and it really like, it started to like really build. Like if you picture an empty, I'm going to get really visual for you guys right now. If you picture like an empty glass human form, I would register these things and I would like pour a little bit of sand into the human form. And then I would start to connect the dots and like connect the puzzle pieces. And then I would pour a little more sand. And then at the end of like my year and a half in LA, where I really needed to build my independence, I started to realize that like this human form was full of sand. And I was like, oh, I'm a full person. Like this is who I am. And it really helped me like be okay with it and like it and know that no matter what, I can't change it.
Right. Accepting it is like, that helps your self-esteem too.
Yes.
Like this is me.
There's nothing I can do to change this glass form. I can't break it. I can't change the sand that's already in it.
Right.
It's a lot of work, but I think for me, making it like that visual representation and really like, I'm such an internal person, which it sounds like maybe you can relate to this too, being an introvert and not, and like really wanting to find yourself again. Having that conversation with myself was a lot easier for me, and registering that like these things that I was doing was a lot easier on my own. And it really like made me like myself a lot better.
It's really finding your independence.
Yes.
Like that, the whole like glass person,
metaphor-ish thing.
Yeah. Analogy. Is that the word?
Metaphor, analogy.
Same shit.
Who knows?
Literally,
Grammar.
I don't care. That to me, because I relate to that. And I feel like that's something we all go through after that big heartbreak you have in your young adult years. And it's so easy to be like, no, I know myself. Like, and you do. We're not saying you don't, but you like when you're with someone that long, a lot of your energy is split in two, which is okay. That's okay. When you're in a relationship, there's push, there's pull. Like you gotta give yourself to your person. You're a team. But when you break up, you go through that weird kind of you know, what do I do with this empty room?
Right.
How do I decorate this empty room in my heart, my brain, you know, this empty space? And in some ways that's a lot harder because the heartbreak and whatnot. But with you, it sounds like you guys are, like you're saying, you're still on great terms, and that's amazing. And I feel like there's a lot of value there, but it's really just now finding yourself without that person. And it's so easy to get stuck in our darkness and the things we really struggle with. It's so easy to constantly, you wake up thinking about it. Oh my God, I have no friends to go hang out with today. And you think about it all day, and we get so stuck in our darkness that we think that's our personality, but it's not. It's just, try and look at it as like a phase you're in right now. But just like phases and seasons and all the things, like there's a new one to come. So like, I don't know. Like don't let where you're at right now write who you are.
Right. It's not you.
It's not. It's just right now. And I think once you kind of release that and kind of accept that this is a temporary state, this discomfort and this phase of your life, you stop identifying it. You stop giving it so much power. That's what I had to do, at least.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the time we forget that when we're in relationships for however long, we become part of our ex-partners, like their habits and who they are. Right. You start to mold together. And when you get out of those relationships, it's you feel that emptiness, and you kind of just have to like fill that back up with who you once were and like who you can be and who you want to be. Like I've said this before too, this is your chance to really become who you want to be.
It's so fun.
It's so, you're finding yourself, but like also you get to write yourself.
Yep.
You get to decide who you want to be in this world, how you want to act, what you want to dress like, what your hobbies are, how you want to communicate with people. Like this is where when you find your independence, it could really be you writing how you want to live in this world.
It's overwhelming, but it's like so essential. You gotta go through this.
Grab the bull by its horns.
I feel like, and like you did this when you moved alone, you had your first apartment on your own. And when I had my first apartment on my own, a big kind of thing I went through to really start trying to enjoy my alone time was decorating that apartment. Like no matter where you're at, even if you get a little hole in the wall, shithole apartment in your town, like
make it yours.
Make it yours.
Go thrifting, go to Goodwill,
right.
Get dollar vases and paint them and get flowers. Like make it yours. That's all that matters.
You'll start recharging there, and that'll start becoming your identity. And
it's like your place. It's something like you made.
Yeah. It's so exciting.
And like give yourself credit for it.
Right. It's nobody, you didn't pick it out with anybody.
Nope.
Like
it's no one else's but yours.
It's you.
Oh, it's so cool.
Once you surround yourself by a reflection of the things you like, your little trinkets and your pillows and your couch, then it's like
you'll start to realize who you are.
Yeah, you have a visual representation.
Yeah.
You wake up every day and you're like, oh, I'm that big.
Yeah.
Right. I'm looking around. There's so many signs. I'm like, so this is Rhonda's personality.
Yeah. My mom is the queen of, she knows who she is through and through.
Just, she gets it. She gets it. Okay. This is my next one. Hi. I wanted to start by saying thank you for reading this. Recently, I've been getting flashes of full overstimulated confusion and anxiety. It's a bit hard to describe why, but hopefully you can relate and understand. It begins with questioning everything. Like simple things. Is college worth the money? And when I will literally have to pay it off for years. Why do we have to pay so much for college when our starting wage is most likely less than what we are paying? What if I don't end up loving my career down the line? What if I never find someone and my dream of a family never comes to life? Why do we live a life so wrapped up in work, work, work? How come everything in this world requires money? Can I just quit and buy a van and travel the world? The answer isn't easy to grasp. And after these questions, I get wrapped up in noticing everything wrong with the world and how impossible it is for any change to occur. We are 100% capable of choosing the life we live, but sometimes it just feels like we're following what society tells us to do. Otherwise, we assume we will have no money and be unhappy. I guess I just want to know if anyone else relates and if you have any advice for combating this feeling. I've learned a lot from time to time in therapy, but for some reason, when these thoughts come, they really overthrow my motivations. Sincerely, Madison. Oh my God. This is my consciousness dead ass 60% of my day every day.
Whoa.
I spiral and then I get anxious about it. And then I'm like, oh my God, like I get it. And I don't even have an answer for you right now. I just simply wanted to read this passage to say, you are not alone. And I still don't even know what to do about those feelings. But when I get it, I'm just like one day at a time. That's all I tell myself. Like,
control the things that you can control.
That's
all
quite literally the only answer.
Yeah.
We don't know. And I mean, I feel that I spiral into like the job I do, like social media, but then I'm also aware of like the negative effects that we psychologically still haven't even studied that social media is having on people. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm feeding into that. Like I'm a creator. Like what if I'm like poisoning someone's brain? I mean, I start thinking like I get it. The overflow of your consciousness, you're not alone on that. I think it's cool that we're that way sometimes too. I'm like, okay, like this is kind of cool. Like I try and like write it. I'm like, I'm critically thinking like this is a good thing. It is overwhelming.
It's not a bad thing.
It's not. I think it's great to always question everything, as overwhelming as it can get. But as far as those, when I get really, really into it, I'm like, I'm not going to get an answer. Just like I keep saying, one day at a time. We get into these talks a lot, especially when I'm high. I'm
hypotheticals.
Like, Alex, but like, like I'll start talking about currency. Like that's a big one where I'm like, literally, what is it? What is this thing?
It's a fake concept we've come up with.
Everything. Like I had a meeting almost like a year ago now with one of my financial advisors to like start investing. And he's like explaining the stock market. And like, he's like, you're like following. I'm like, I'm completely following, but all I'm hearing here is this is just a big game. And when the numbers someone wants to change the numbers, they change the numbers. And he literally like sits back in his chair and he's like, yeah. And my job is just to stay afloat and watch the numbers change and get in when I can and pull out when I should. And I'm just like, what? I'm like, what am I doing this for? And like, why are we so, I'm getting into one right now. Okay. So you're not alone. I get it. I think something that feels good when I'm in those moments is just to talk about it too. And just find somebody to like laugh about it with, because it's the big question of life that we don't have a fucking answer to.
It in your circle of life right now, it is all hypotheticals.
Right.
And yeah, the easiest thing to do is just like talk about it. Like what ifs?
There's so many what ifs. We talked about this the other day because part of your thing was not finding the dream family and the dream person. We had this talk the other day. Like, what if we don't? What if we do?
Just as much as there is negative what ifs out there, there is an equal amount of positive what ifs. Just remember that.
The chance of anything that hasn't happened yet, there's still an even chance of it happening or not happening, as that could be just as stressful too. I don't know if this is helping at all. Oh God.
Who knows?
I get it. Like reading that email, I was like, this is, because I probably should start trying to write it down, as if that'll even do anything. I'll probably start chicken scratching the paper. But reading that email, I was like, whoa, like this
stream of consciousness question. Yeah.
That 60% of my day, mostly at night. And I freak out and I'm like, oh my God, should I just like stop what I'm doing? Like, why are we so worried about money? But I'm rambling. Back to the college thing.
Those are valid feelings.
I get it. It was a big thing both Alex and I went through. Even deciding to go to the college we went to, especially, like, it is so fucking expensive, but it's also the best thing we did for us. And I know then you kind of go back on like the societal thing.
But if you decide to do it, make sure you put just as much like effort in to make it worth it.
Yes.
Because you're paying all that money, go to every class early, make friends with your instructors, make it worth it so that when you leave, like we did this, when you leave, we still use the knowledge that we have from our school.
Oh my God,
10 years later. Like you're paying that money, get juice the shit out of it.
I know student loans are scary, but
you can't avoid them, and they're just like fucking sitting there. So,
and like on a lighter note, when it comes to like buying your first home or, you know, even getting approved for an apartment, any like credit checks where people see student loans, it's not a bad thing.
No.
It's different than having like credit card debt. Then it's like, okay, you're just a reckless spender. The banks would assume that. But something like student debt, it's not frowned upon. It's not. So yes, it might be a bill for the rest of your life or whenever you decide to pay it off or, you know, whatever your financials are. But I say this because that was my biggest thing. I was like, am I fucking over my credit for my future? And like everybody I talked to was like, no, you're like student debt is like, it's not a bad thing when people see it on your report. So,
and it's so common.
It's so common. But I think out of everything in this life, whether, you know, what we're talking about, the society and what's worth it, knowledge is always going to be worth it. So I'm an advocate for college. I think even if you don't use your degree and all that, like you still get so much out of it, the people and the experience and just using your brain after high school. A lot of people, you know, if you kind of stop that learning sensation in your brain, that firing in your brain when you're such a fresh brain in your early 20s, your late teens, that, I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I can only imagine that's not great. Like we need to keep using our brains. So go to school. I fucking rambled.
Okay, this is my next one. This one's called Ghosted After 4 Years. Hey girlies, I hope you're all doing well. Love the pod. But my question is this. Sorry, it might be kind of long. This is not long.
Oh my God, not at all. You're literally
You just see some of the ones we've read.
Right.
I was in a relationship for 4 years and just recently broke up about a month and a half ago. However, the breakup wasn't any normal one as my significant other ghosted me after a fight we had. I tried reaching out, including heading to their place a couple times, but they would either deflect or just ignore the situation when I would try to talk to him about it. The hardest part, we have 2 dogs and we got together. And since we don't live together anymore, we split time between them to offset schedules. I struggle with the fact that I myself never got any closure and often wonder if I did anything wrong. I'm now trying to go about being normal, but the thought still lingers in my mind of not knowing why or what happened for this person to just halt communication with me unless it's about our dogs. I have a strong support system and I am super grateful for them, but this just sucks. LOL. Any advice? Thanks, girlies. Love ya. P.S. Alex and I share the same B-day.
Happy birthday.
My Virgo twin. Okay. Sorry for the essay. This is not an essay.
It's a short paragraph.
Y'all can say my name. It's okay. Wishing you all nothing but the stars.
Oh, I love that.
You're so cute. John.
Hey, John.
Hi, John. Happy birthday.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, shit. The
ghost?
If you could take anything from this, please don't take it personal.
Absolutely not.
This is very much something that they must be going through. I don't even like, I can almost like 98% confidently say you probably didn't even do anything wrong. It's just like
they can't face
something. There's something that they can't face internally, or even if it is something that like you did that might have irked them, it is their responsibility to come to you and say this is what bothered them.
Yeah.
You very much deserve to be like to know what happened after 4 years. That's kind of like the least you deserve.
That's crazy.
Right?
Like it'd be different if you like murdered one of their best friends and like like the fact that you don't know is confirmation that it's something in them.
Yeah.
We don't know them, so it's hard to like dig in, but like maybe they're afraid to break up with somebody, so like they're just like run.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously we'd have to know more about the exact situation to walk you through that, but Don't take it personal.
Yeah, it's not you.
I'm so sorry. That's so fucked. That's not okay. But you said that you still talk if there's something dog related. Is that kind of what I was understanding?
Yeah, because I have 2 dogs together.
I mean, I'm sure you already did this, but like, are you asking each time, like, yo, what happened? Like I would like demand that respect.
Yeah,
I'd be
you
like,
deserve an answer.
Can you give me something?
At the
like
very least, yeah.
You can even approach it, be like, hey, I get we're broken up, but like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Like, ask if they're okay.
Yeah.
Maybe they're shutting down because something really dark within them, which, you know, is really sad. And I don't know. We don't know, but ask if they're okay. Cause that's quite the thing to run to. That's crazy. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Okay. This is my next one. Hi, girls. It's with the O, girls.
Girls.
Look at the smiley too.
Wait, I love that.
So cute.
I'm going to start using it.
So I've been seeing this guy for a few years now. Buckle in because it's a wild ride. Let's call him Mr. Big.
Ooh, wait, that's a Friends reference.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
I thought it was Sex in the City. What do they call that guy?
I don't know. I don't watch that. But in Friends, Rachel overhears Monica on the phone. That's how Rachel finds out that Monica gets with Chandler. She overhears Monica on the phone call him Mr. Big.
Is that his last name or something?
No, I think it was like more
a nickname.
Of a sexual reference.
Hey.
Mr. Big.
Okay. Anyway, November 2019. I matched with this hot 39-year-old. I was 21 at the time. Holy shit. On Bumble. We went on a date and immediately felt connected and drawn to him. We did sleep together, spent the next morning/afternoon together. We saw each other again for one more date after that, and then I didn't hear from him again. March 2020, 2 weeks before lockdown. God, even just reading March 2020, I'm like, huh. Like I go back there.
There's something very significant about like that combination of letters and numbers.
Yes. My friend and I were talking about the best sex we've ever had, and I told her about this guy. She takes my phone from me and texts him. Oh my God.
Whoa.
He replied the next day, and we saw each other that night. From there, we dated for 7 months.
Oh.
Both of us are non-monogamous people. After 7 months, he ghosted me. What the fuck is with this ghosting? Out of the blue, it felt like, but we were both going through really shitty times in our own lives. Unfortunately, he was better at communicating his struggles than I was, out of fear of scaring him away with my mental health. Months went by, and I started to date someone I felt really good about. Of course, that ended, and I spent so much time thinking about how I never stopped missing Mr. Big, even after 6 months of silence. So I scavenged for his phone number, it's in caps, for his phone number and asked him to get drinks. A week went by and he said yes. We met up and it felt as if no time had ever passed. Our sex was out of this world, just as it had always been. Our emotional chemistry was electric. He couldn't stop beaming at me. And I couldn't stop feeling enamored with him. He's been in my life again for almost a year now, but we've only seen each other once every 2 months or so since last May when we reconnected. This man is my twin flame. I have never met another person who felt so much like home and myself all in one. He makes me want to be a better me. He makes me want to reach for the fucking stars. He's my biggest cheerleader, but he's also my biggest fear. Every time we text or see one another, I'm scared it'll be the last time because he reminds me so much of myself. I know I could be the same way, but never with him. When we reconnected last May, I told him that I never wanted to go through that pain again. I never wanted him to ghost me to begin with, but I had to ask him to communicate and voice when he wants this to end, and I will accept that. But we both agreed that we can spend years apart and yet somehow will always feel as though no time has passed. We saw each other a few weeks ago. I had been upset with him because he canceled plans we made. When he asked to see me, I said yes, but unfortunately had too much to drink and became quite vulnerable with him. I told him I will always care for him romantically and that he has helped me become the woman I am today. I told him that he is so special to me and I appreciate and respect him so much. I then followed up by telling him I simply want equal respect in return. He said he understood. After that, I blacked out and we were fine the next day. He gave me a long hug and kissed me goodbye. Now here I am wondering, can I keep doing this? Should I keep doing this? I met him 3 years ago and I've met many other men, but no man has ever made me light up the way he does. I've tried. I really am open to any and all loving connections, but no one is even close to Mr. Big. I don't think we'll be serious anytime soon, if ever. Maybe when I'm in my 30s and he's in his 50s. Either way, if you were me, would you let this go? I can't imagine him absent from my life, but I existed before I knew him. I know I'll eventually be okay without him. Danny. This is heavy. It's always hard when you really feel that connection with somebody, but like you kind of know it's not your time, or you know there's something just not clicking. You're not getting everything you want out of it. I think that is a sign that it's like I just said, it's not clicking. The mutual respect that you've recently demanded and you said he understood is great, and that's one thing. But it's now seeing it within his actions. Mm-hmm. I know this might sound kind of like high schooly, but like you got to notice how often you're hitting someone up versus them hitting you up. Mm-hmm. I think, and like how much they cancel on you versus how much you like, that is a action of respect in my book. Personally, that's something where I like that to be a give and take, equal thing. Mm-hmm. So that's something to consider. I mean, it seems like it's only on his time and stuff, which kind of sucks.
You deserve consistency.
Yeah.
And you know you deserve it, but it's, and you've demanded it, but it's just at this point where like whether or not he's going to give it is you're every time he's able to get away with everything being on his terms, you're lowering your standards.
Yep. Because now he'll subconsciously, he's like, oh, I know where I could push. Yep. I know how far I can push and they will still be there for me. Mm-hmm. And that's shitty.
You don't want to lower your standards for anyone. Even your twin flame.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you keep, it's hard once you lower a standard to get it back up too. That's why like in a work environment, in a friend environment, in a relationship, out the gate, let them know who the fuck you are. Mm-hmm. That like I've always been a firm believer in that. Like establish the standards of respect from the jump, and it will never go lower than that. Yep. When you let people get away with shit, it's hard. The fact that this has been happening for years is not fair for you. Mm-mm. And
it's only going to get harder.
You just got to ask yourself if you're willing to sit through, you know, however long it takes till he finally wants to be with you. Like, you know, there is something romantic about always waiting for somebody, but it's also like, what about your individualism in your life?
You're taking a toll on like your
time,
who you are.
Yeah. Like, sure, you know, you can always rekindle when the time comes, but maybe really start trying to detach from that what if, because it's not here right now. He's not giving it to you right now. Mm-hmm. So right now you're still single, you're still an individual, and lean into that rather than waiting for his text back a week later just to go fill that, you know, boost of serotonin, and then he leaves the next day and you don't hear from, like, you deserve more than that. I think we all do. If you want that love, you said you have that big heart, you love people like that. I believe you, and you deserve someone who's going to give it just as much.
Give it their all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just think about it. Think about what you deserve.
Okay, should we end on a light, fun one?
Yes.
Okay.
What is it? Is it like a poop joke?
No. Oh. Hi, girlies. Love your pod. Love you guys. Really need your help. I'm 6 months pregnant with my second baby. My husband and I are high school sweethearts, and we've been together since we were 15. We're both now 30. We just had our first baby in October of 2020, and her name is Willow. I am now pregnant with our second baby, and we know he's a boy. I'm over the moon excited, but I literally cannot find one name I like for a boy.
Oh, baby.
I have looked at probably every baby name website online, and everything just seems so boring. I want a cool, unique name that will go well with Willow. Any suggestions? Thank you. It's a fun one. Huh?
No, I'm so excited, but I don't want to like give any of mine.
No shot. You're getting my list, sister.
No. With Willow. Okay, so Willow was gonna be my niece's name.
Right. I was gonna say Oliver.
And Oliver's her brother's name. Oliver and Willow are cute.
Tree and olive tree. Oliver is like classic.
Yep.
You could already tell what kind of the man they're gonna be.
Yeah.
Ollie when they're a kid,
Yep.
Olive when they're old. Sick.
Sure. Like there's a lot of growth with that name.
Yes.
Because I always feel like it's weird to have like a baby called like Robert.
Right.
Like Oliver's a name that could be a baby name and then it can grow.
Yeah.
But like, come here, Robert. Like that's that weird. Sorry, any Roberts listening. No offense. You know, you grew into it. You're good. We rebuilt.
Come here, Hank.
Oh, that's weird. Hank, come here. Steve. It's really, like, what's it?
Come here, Paul.
That is the weirdest one. If your name is Paul, you were immediately born at least 13.
Yeah.
At least. Okay, let's give some. I think Oliver's great.
Oliver's our top choice for sure.
I think you should do Oliver. God, I just don't want to give you any in mind, so I'm trying to like go around that list.
Divert a little bit.
What about, is this like basic, but I just met somebody with this name yesterday. I really like the name Forrest.
And it's, it
With
goes
Willow.
really cute with Willow. Forrest
Yes.
is so cool.
It's so cool. It's immediately cool name. Fox is cute.
Oh, Fox is really cool. Wolf.
I was just gonna say Wolf. Hunter is cute.
I love Hunter.
Go with this vibe a lot.
Yeah.
Why did this just pop in my head? Seth.
Please don't name your son
I don't hate it. Seth Green, great actor. You know, without a paddle. How to lose a paddle?
Without a paddle. How to lose a paddle in 10 days. Oh my God. I had this coworker on my high school job. His name was Woodland.
Sick.
Woodland. Call him Woody. Woody and Willow. Stop. Woodland.
Woodland is his name.
Top name. Please.
I vote that. That goes so well.
That's so cute.
Now, should we go into the middle names? What's Willow's middle name? Let us know. But like, what's like a good middle name? Like, do we want to stay earthy with the middle names?
No, I say let's go strong with it.
Or should we leave it up? Maybe they have like a family like heirloom name.
we'll leave that part
maybe
up
we
to you.
shouldn't like.
But please name your son Woodland.
Woodland and Willow.
Because Woody is like, Woody's a strong, there's a lot of good Woodies out there.
Toy Story.
Toy Story. But also like Woody Harrelson.
Oh yeah, that guy.
There's just like, there's a lot of strength in that name, but also very friendly.
Very warm, inviting. It's earthy.
It's earthy.
And then Woody could be the baby.
Yeah.
Woody, come here, Woody. That's so
Woodland
cute.
is so strong, and it's earthy, but comforting and soft and grounding. It's a very grounding name.
When you're talking about it, you're like, we can do it.
But Willow and Woody, come on.
I'm not even going to give you any other options.
That's it.
And if you don't name him that,
I'm gonna be hot.
we're going to be pretty mad. But let us know what you end up naming him.
Please let us know.
And everybody in the comments, let's give some other names.
Yeah.
But I vote that one. That's it. So cute.
Love that.
I'm scared that when I have a kid, I'm not going to be able to choose.
You know, I was unnamed for a week.
That's going to be my kid. I'm like, come here, number 1 and number 2. Or boy and girl. What's that from? Bird Box? Does she call the kids boy and girl?
Yeah.
I'm probably going to do that.
Please don't. I will not let that happen.
Child. Come here, offspring. Maybe I shouldn't have kids.
Okay, I loved this.
This was a good episode.
This was really good.
I'm excited for part 2 next week.
Send in more shit.
Yes.
Ooh, let us know if you decide to use our name that we've
Yes, please do.
gifted you with.
Yes, you're welcome. Venmo us.
No, we're just honorary aunties.
Oh my God. Can we be a godmom? Actually.
No, I want to be an auntie.
Yeah, I want to be auntie. Auntie and auntie Kristen and Alex. That's cute. And when they're older, they'll be able to look at this.
Yeah.
Be like, this is how
you were named.
who are these ladies?
And they're going to take all this advice that we've given
and be the best person on the planet. You're welcome for the best kid ever. Anyway.
Okay. We love you guys. This was really fun.
For next week, if you didn't get yours in, oddvicepodcast@gmail.com. Resend them. It does help to have the subject lines.
Yeah.
It gives some insight.
Like,
to
do something like fun and quirky so that it grabs our attention.
But yeah, send in anything. If there's, we'll try and tackle like newer topics too.
Right.
Because honestly, because you're never alone, a lot of these entries were a lot of the same stuff. We seem to all be going through similar things. So hopefully you guys got something from the answers, even if it wasn't your question. But yeah, we'll tackle it all over again next week. It'll be our last episode, but we don't have to think about that yet.
For Friday's Patreon episode, you guys just send in more. We'll just do this again.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we could do that, or let's just send in more and just give it our all for the last of the season. I just want to give you all of us. So we love you guys. Happy Monday. Happy May 2nd. It's May.
May the 4th.
May the 4th be with you.
All right. We're just going to go sit at a barbecue with no barbecue food.
Yes. With tacos. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.